Hello, I'm ViSiON, and I never speak in front of people. I'm a nerd in my studio, like lots of artists. So it's very exciting to me to speak about my stuff. And okay, let me see where to start, because this is not my laptop. But yeah, my orientation is a little bit thanks for your invitation, by the way. Yeah, it's very big on my paper. Say thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. Michal and Didi, yeah. It's a great space. And thanks for the presentations, which were amazing. You speak so well, and mine won't be that funny, I can tell you already. Very serious shit. Okay, so I'm gonna start, let's see. Yeah, your first question was something like, how did your passion started? And my passion started, I think, way before my head was even created. I think like somewhere before this life, in a different life. But to give you something to grasp, something real. I was in this, I was 11, and I was in this female rap crew called Fab4 Crew, Fabulous 4. And it was the best time of my youth, I think. We were in the newspaper of my hometown city, the city that doesn't exist, called Bielefeld. And that was the best time of my life. And we joined songwriting workshops. It was a social program in the summer, during the summer. And you can probably see who I am. I didn't grow much taller since then. Yeah, it was pretty cool to be... It was pretty cool to be surrounded by such cool girls, and it was incredible to write German rap songs. We joined many more songwriting workshops than this one. And yeah, already posed very well back then. And very empowering, because I was a loner. I was a kid, like always like working out my shit. And it was incredible to meet these girls and just like play shows. And we started to earn money with the shows more and more. I think this project lasted for 2 years or something until I turned 13. And the other ones had to quit after 2 years because the parents said something like, your grades get back at school, so you really have to like drop the German rap and focus more on school. My parents didn't care that much, so I just kept on going myself. I tried at least, but that was like my first depression when they quit the band. Or let's say the second, because birth was first, I think. Birth is first depression, right? Scientifically, they say. And yeah, I mean, that was... Mental health was already a topic, as you can tell. We're meditating. Back then, yeah. RG didn't meditate that much, that's why...
What is she doing right now?
Yeah, that's why she quit the band first. She was the first one to leave. And yeah, and that was a big thing, I don't regret anything besides that hat. So that was a cool time, right? Speaking of my hometown, Bielefeld, there was this incredible building. Unfortunately, the photo is very, very, very tiny. Can I make it bigger? That's the... Oh, yeah. This is good. I think this is enough. That's an art and music school in the town that doesn't exist. And it's actually I would say, basically my home. It's an incredible building. It's a little bit like Hogwarts. It's an oasis in the city, I think even in the country, or maybe even, to me, in the world. I don't know any public art or music school like that. And here up in the rooftop was the fine arts department. And as a kid, I went in and out of that building, and you could just pay like 10 to 15 bucks at that time a month, and you could use all the material, paint, pencils, clay, and go crazy, right? There were teachers that led you a little bit, and yeah, that was really. It's still the best house I know. When I go back to Bielefeld, I visit that house, not my parents' house. If you get what I'm saying, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, if this house would be ever at stake, I would give everything that it survived. Breathe. Yeah. It's still going. This house is still existing. So, what else did I want to say? So those were definitely two very that shaped my art and my growing into that whole topic. And also, I did an exchange I went to the U.S. When I was 15. I moved to the U.S. to go to high school, and I started to write English lyrics and play the guitar more. And me and my friends, we just sat on the porch playing like Bob Dylan songs, you know, very cliche, very classic. And that's how I came back with a lot of English songs, which kind of shaped my first album. So how does this work again? I think like that. So I came back from California very motivated because it was very good for me, the distance and getting out of my family environment. And I moved to a community in my hometown with musicians. They were all a little bit older, and they were all male, and they all had their projects, and I was kind of like the background singer in their projects. And at some point I was like, I want to do my own thing. I want to create my own sound and music. So the name television flew to my head from the sky. So I must have been 18. And a friend of mine gave me this, taught me the tool to record my instruments, which was Logic Pro, which I still use. And I recorded my first songs, uploaded the first song on MySpace, was very excited and nervous about it, and always went into the kitchen like, I got 100 like, how you say, 100 clicks on my song. I got 200 clicks. Oh my God, I got 250 clicks. And the guys in the kitchen were always like, and I only got now, like a few years ago, that it was the whole time it was them listening to my songs in the kitchen. And they like cracked up about me like coming to the kitchen every time I had a new listener. Yeah, and this is my work that you see. This is, for instance, this is my third album, The Third Eye. I recorded it during the stay in Boston. This is a very special record with my friend Touchy who is here with us right now. It's from 2012. It's a split. We went on tour for 3 weeks through Europe. It was crazy. And yeah, so I think like that art school, the Fab Four crew, USA, and then I went to art school in Hamburg. So I dropped out of school because I was like, I want to study fine arts. I don't need a degree for that, I've heard. So I'm just going to apply, get into art school. And I did in Hamburg. And that was fucked up because I really didn't like art school. It sucked. Everybody was I was so naive. I thought I'm going to go there. That's Ronnie. That's my manager. I wouldn't be here without him. Yeah, it was definitely different than what I expected because I thought I'm going to go to art school and meet my allies, be supported, safe space. Like I knew it, right, from the art school that I knew by then, which was a whole different, like I said, an oasis. And I kind of hated it, and I dropped a little bit more in the music. Why did I hate it? I think because I didn't find my people there, and because they always told me to decide on if I want to make music or paint. Like, you got to decide on what you want to do, this or that. And I was like, to me, it's one thing. Like, nah. So I think the protest was to go more in the music, but still like study and be there and be kind of like an observer. But yeah. I think what really saved me was that I applied for a stipend to go to Boston, to the US again, to study fine arts, and I was living in a show house. We put on shows in the basement, so it was like DIY music scene, very vibrant, and studying fine arts, the same shit I did in Hamburg, right? And that really helped me to get out of this, non-acceptance, because in US at school is a whole different idea of music and art and fine arts and music, right? So suddenly it was like I didn't have to explain anymore. It was just like accepted. It was like, of course you do music in this exhibition, of course. I didn't have to, blah, 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 you know? So I could just go on. And that was such a great experience to me that I went back with that energy and just like make my thesis in Hamburg and be like, get out of here. Okay, I need a sip of.
This is a funny presentation.
You think?
Yes.
I'm suffering. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, cool. So, Boston, is what I noticed when I wrote this down and went through this was like, okay, fuck, I'm old. I'm older than I thought. Like, a lot has happened. And to get this all together was like, where do I start? But thanks for your questions. About my multidisciplinary work, right? Because I feel like painting and music was always parallel lines in my life. And the reason or why I'm choosing to do that is because they inspire each other. And I think there's so much magic in the distance to it. So when I play music or write music, I'm distant to painting and vice versa. And so much happens in that process, being away from it's like you're watching it from outside, you're watching even further, you turn your back on it, and it develops still. It's incredible. And that's why it works so well. And sometimes these lines cross, but they can also just be by themselves and work by themselves. So sometimes you will see, this is a workshop I did. We made, because I'm a fan of onesies. I always paint my onesies that I also play shows in. And I had this class, it's actually at the school where I did the Oasis school. So I gave them a workshop and we made everybody made their own onesies and we did a performance with it. It was really, really cool. So those are pre-students, they're going to study art. They made their, application there. Like I used to do. I did the same course when I was 18 or 19. I always forget to breathe. Do you always? I always forget to breathe. I wanted to start with the first one again because how does this work?
Click on the one.
And then play? So this is, for instance, where I combine the two. It's a video still. It's still from a video we shot in Boston. And I used to paint on the canvas. I built the canvas myself. Always, it's very important to me because it's already part of the process. And then I project the same painting on that painting and I play in that light. And that's something I did for a long, long time. This is my thesis actually at art school. They loved it, but they didn't want to admit. They thought I was already too good, you know. No, it's really something that's why I hated art school so much, because I applied for this stipend with the thesis. And this one dude from the jury came after. I met him at a party. And he came to me and he said, I really liked your stuff, but I felt like you don't need it. You don't need the stipend. And I was like, almost hit him in the face. Because why would I apply for it? And there's like people like that all over the place. And that leads me to one of your questions. What do you love, hate about art? And it's definitely hard to build a structure and to find your right people. That took a long time for me. I think the more I knew what I wanted, the easier it was to find the right people. But it came a long way. And there's lots of suckers out there. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and there's another question I found very cool by Michał is, of course, what is art to me? What does it give me? And why do I do what I do? And I think art is always, of course, implying also music, is the glue between my head and my heart somehow. And I think it used to be a safe space that I built because, like I already mentioned, I come from a very dysfunctional family and I had to escape that somehow and to build my safe space because I wasn't safe out there. So I needed to build a safe space. And I think when you ask many artists, they will answer that. But I feel like you build a profession when you start to share that space. And when you let people into that safe space. And I think that's the magic, and that's also when you start to like open up, right? I think I have like 5 albums published by now, released. And only with the 4th album, I started to open up my creative process and invited producers and stage designers and costume designers. And that took me 3 albums. Like, it took me a long time. I needed that time to create my sound. I really took that time to be sure about my sound and build it as much as I could. I think it's, again, this kind of like safe space idea, right? And then only with the 4th album, I signed a label contract, and like I said, I invited more people into the whole like project by having fundings and stuff and money to actually pay them. And I think, just take your time, you know. I mean, I'm glad. Sometimes I'm like, I should have done that earlier. No. But I feel like, no, it wouldn't be that strong if I would have opened up earlier. So it needed that time, right? Yeah, so with the 4th album, it was like from do it yourself to do it together, or to also to the music industry. That only started with the 4th album. I took a long break from painting, and I only started again, really. It was always in my head, of course, in the back of my head. But I only started again last year when I did this exhibition at the gallery called Hoto in Berlin. They invited me to do, I played a show at the gallery 2 years before. And then I talked to the gallerist so long, like I annoyed him so much. He gave in, and he had to give in. So I did this, they had like, I think a 2-month residency last summer. And they also paid a little bit for material. So I was able to and this is actually that was my onesie that I kind of cut apart and put on so it's a little bit, there's parallels a lot. And this is in El Salvador. They asked me to paint this house. And, it's a funny story because, El Salvador in the middle Latin America. It's quite funny because I painted these without the splash, right? I just painted the colors. It was all yellow before this. And I painted just the colors. And people were starting to take pictures in front of it, like selfies. Everybody it became a selfie spot. And then as soon as I did like the splash on it, somebody knocked on my friend's door. My friend lived in this house. Knocked on my friend's door and was like, somebody messed up your wall. I'm so sorry about it. I'm so sorry. And nobody ever returned to take a selfie. They really... Well, yeah, that's the story. And I think with the whole idea of my paintings is to, especially this one, is to creep out of the canvas. Because I can't handle the canvas. It's really annoying. I struggle so much with the canvas. Because it's limiting. Actually, it's not, because you can do in it whatever you want. But to me, it's limiting. So I really want to creep out of it with the paint. And I think that's also what the music does. I love to jump from genre to genre. I'm really using them. I love crossing genres. And I think, this urge to creep out, I think that's just something that you will always find in my work.
And it's never too cool to face.
Yes! I said more than I wanted to. I think I answered what do I hate, love about art and artsy. Yeah, there's one more thing I want to say. Because what was really hard for me was to you gonna trigger people. Like when you're an artist, you gonna trigger the hell out of people. And they're gonna project on you their craziest dreams. And that used to be something that was really bothering me and irritating me. I mean, that's also in private life, right? That's not only if you're an artist, that happens. But I feel like when you put yourself out there, it happens even more. And, I really thought that was a weakness. But I get now that it's actually a superpower. But I really needed a long time to understand that. Because it's not about me at all. And that's so amazing. It's not about me at all. I'm just like a observer. I'm like a funnel. And that makes it amazing again. You know? Yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, that's all I wanted to say, I think. If you have any questions.